I know, because I know a lot of you, that many of you, or many of us, are rolling into this holiday season with an ache deep within. You see, while Christmas is this magical time of year, it is also a revealing one. There is something about this season that, like water, it seems to find the lowest place. And for many, the declarations of God's presence and his arrival really just drudge up a reverb of frustration and pain. If God is really in our midst, then why does my life look like this? Why is my heart broken? Why hasn't he rescued me or healed me? Christmas can evoke holy imagination, but it can also provoke holy aggravation, especially for those in places of hopelessness and desperation. Our circumstances and how we perceive God in them often shadow our ability to see God in our midst. Many of you have cried out and begged and looked for God's presence and deliverance with you, only to feel as though even in this season he is far off, or he is too small in his coming, insufficient in how he is present. And I've been there. I think you know me well enough to know that I've been there. So many times I've been there. Even this past summer, I was walking through this season of desperation, truly, that led to a little spiritual disorientation. Now, I wasn't apostate, so don't send me an email, but I was wrestling with God and where he was in my life. And that's true. That's sometimes part of the journey. And one of the most helpful things that really led me to a place of sight was a conversation, but more than that, it felt like a confrontation I had in Laurelhurst Park with a friend. And this friend listened to me as I put God on the stand for being such a failure to me, as I accused him of being indifferent and uncaring and absent when I needed him the most. And then after I finished, this friend quietly, in a smattering of words I can't quite remember, reminded me that God hardly ever comes in the way that we want him to, but that he comes nonetheless. And for a reason I can't explain, that reality came crashing into my heart, and it shattered the lens that blocked my view of God's presence with me. It shattered the expectations I had of how he should come or how he should be helping me, and it forced me in many ways to shift my eyes back to the places that I thought he wasn't, and to see where he was. And can I just say that changes everything? When I recognize God with me, it changes everything. You see, at the intersection of our need or our pain, our circumstances, whatever they are in this season, is an invitation to see God, to find him in your midst. But there is also the potential to miss him, to allow your circumstances to be the roadblock of recognition, and to reduce God to less than our expectations, and to allow that to be the barometer for his presence. And if we do that, we will miss him altogether. Often the way God meets us looks a lot more messy or slow or complex than we want. I mean, look at the manger. And instead of waiting to see where he actually is, most of the time we avert our eyes and claim that he was never with us. But the beauty and the gift of Christmas is that no matter what it feels like, he always is. Advent is for those of us who cannot find him. It is for those of us with angst and broken hearts. It is for those who carry any kind of ache or tragedy into this season. It is a stark reminder that though he may not come in the way that we expect him to or want him to, with pomp and circumstance, and preferably for me, an infantry, he still comes. God is personal, not prescriptive. And he has come through Jesus to meet with us, to empathize with us, to suffer with us right where we are. And any conceived notion that he is not present is a lie from the enemy. He is not playing a game. He is just jealous for you to see him as he really is, not for who you want him to be.